How do you get good aim on Starlord? This video is going to cover everything you need to know for improving your mechanics on Starlord. Having good mechanics will do three major things for you. One, it's going to make you a more confident player. Two, it's going to make the enemies feel like they're moving a lot slower. Someone with bad mechanics feels like the enemies are zipping and zapping around on their screen like crazy and you can't keep up with them. And so training your mechanics will slow down the enemy from your perspective. And three, having good mechanics will free up a lot of mental capacity that you can use to focus on the other parts of the game. If I go into a game with full confidence on my Starlord mechanics and I trust myself in every spot that I could possibly be in, then I can put a lot more mental energy into tracking the enemy team's cooldowns, tracking their ultimates, things like that. And so having good mechanics can leak into every aspect of the game. Starlord is obviously a very tracking heavy hero, but I think a lot of YouTubers would link you a Kovacs or Aim Labs playlist that focuses heavy on tracking and call it a day. But today I have 8 drills that you can do all within Marvel Rivals itself to make you a better player. The first thing to know about Starlord is one of the hardest mechanical heroes in the game. What makes Starlord hard isn't necessarily the tracking part of him. It isn't necessarily Starlord's movement by itself. What's hard about Starlord is being able to track the enemies while moving. It's combining aim and movement together. When you're flying around, you're falling down, you're flipping, dashing. Can you keep your crosshair on the enemy to secure the kill? That's what's hard about Starlord. And so a lot of these drills are going to focus on improving your aim while you're moving. Before I can get into the drills that improve your aim while moving, I think we need to build a foundation. And so what I have here is Scarlet Witch bots. I have them on super fast and I have the timer turned off. And so the first drill we can do is just kind of standing still and working on tracking. I'm just going to try to track the bots as they're moving around me and trying to see how fast I can kill them, right? Like, this is very simple. The second drill is going to incorporate basic moving and jumping around. So now what I'm doing is I'm just hopping around, moving around, trying to keep my crosshair on the Scarlet Witch. Now for all of these drills, I can push myself by trying to go for more headshots. I can push myself by making myself try to shoot a smaller target that's just the head, or I can just focus on the body and see if I can track them while moving around the bots, while jumping, while hopping around, stuff like that. This isn't Starlord specific. This is just going to improve your general aim while moving, right? Again, for all of these drills, I can either have them on random or horizontal. In fact, I tend to use the horizontal more than the truly random ones. And obviously mix the hero up, mix it up. It doesn't have to be Scarlet Witch. It could be any hero in the game. I prefer putting it on squishy targets just because squishy targets are obviously a lot thinner. They're harder to hit. They tend to have smaller heads. You want to challenge yourself. Throw on any ground squishy target in the game and just hop around and try to work on your aiming while moving. Again, not a Starlord specific drill. Now we've built our foundation. Now we can actually move into Starlord specific drills that are going to specifically improve your Starlord aim. We're going to turn on no ability cooldown. Starlord has 2 movement abilities, right? He has his flips and he has his boosters. Flipping drastically changes how you're aiming. Like, I'll flip to the right here. We'll see how far my crosshair moves. So my crosshair moved all the way to there, right? Being able to come out of your flip ready to shoot on the enemy is very important on Starlord, right? And so what I can do is I can practice compensating for the flip, compensating for how much your crosshair is going to move. And a good Starlord is always going to be ready to shoot you right out of the flip. And so like I flip and I'm like right in the middle of this 0, right? I can do this just about every time. I can flip forward to the side. And so this is a drill that is going to help work on your accuracy coming out of flips. I'm just going to flip and I'm trying to land the first couple shots out of the flip and I move from target to target. While I'm doing this, all I'm focusing on is that I'm hitting my shot directly out of my flip. I'm not doing the thing where I flip and then I aim over here. I flip and then I aim. No, I want to be ready to shoot without needing to drastically change what I'm aiming at coming directly out of the flip. I'm trying to make sure that I'm ready to shoot the second that I can shoot after flipping, right? The fourth drill is going to up the ante a little bit. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to flip over someone's head and focus on my accuracy out of the flip and try to hit my first couple of shots out of the flip. This is genuinely one of the hardest shots in the game, at least for me. But you'll be in situations where you have to flip over someone's head like all the time on this hero, and landing the shot is not easy. And so you can work on this directly in the practice range. If this feels like super stressful to you, if aiming while, flipping around over someone's head feels like super super stressful. And it's like, I could never practice that. It's going to stress me out too much. A lot of the times what that means is you're tensing up a little bit. Stress can lead to tension, but tension can also lead to stress. A lot of people have the bad habit of tensing up their arm too much while playing. And so you want to make sure that your arm muscles are relaxed. This should not feel stressful. You might miss. Sure, you might miss. If this is the first time trying to do a drill like this, you're probably not going to be very good at it. But, Starlord is not a very easy hero to aim on. I said it before, but Starlord is one of the hardest mechanical heroes in the game. Okay, so you do that for a couple minutes. You want to do each of these drills 1 or 2 minutes, maybe more if you have more time in your day, maybe more if you feel like mechanics are the thing that holds you back the most. But, 1 to 2 minutes each is probably a good spot for most people. Over time, you'll find yourself like being very confident in your aim out of flips. Getting good at stuff like this is how you develop confidence in your gameplay, and you'll be more willing to go for difficult shots like this when you're actually in the game. But Starlord flips are obviously not the only movement ability on this hero. We also need to practice aiming out of boosters. So for this, I have no ability cooldown off. I'm just going to practice boosting around the enemy. Having no ability cooldown doesn't give you unlimited boosters, unfortunately. You have to wait for the boosters to come back at times. Similar to the flips, my goal is to be able to have my crosshair on the Scarlet Witch as soon as I'm able to shoot out of the boosters. Another thing to know about Starlord is you can cancel the reload with the booster when you're about 3/4 of the way through the reload. So right about here, I go for it and it cancels the reload. I'll put a screenshot up on the screen of how far the meter needs to be charged for you to be able to cancel the reload and still get the bullets. So that's what this drill is. It's going to be me shooting until I have to reload. I cancel the boosters when it's ready to be canceled. I'll boost onto the next guy, cancel the boosters on the reload. I'm just trying to boost around. I like to practice boosting very quickly left to right in front of people, and then trying to keep track of where the enemy is. So this Scarlet Witch bot starts on my right. I boost. Now she's more on my left, but I'm keeping track of her and I'm ready to shoot right when I can shoot out of the boosters. Also, similar to the flips, another thing you can work on within this drill is to boost over top of someone and try to hit shots like right when you're over top of people. This again is like one of the harder shots you have to hit on Starlord, and it's not going to be easy. This is not going to be easy, but I think it's important to challenge yourself when you're in the range, because then once you get into the actual game, everything's going to feel a lot easier. The last practice range drill is just going to be, we're going to throw on Storm bots. You could pick any flying hero. I like Storm. Storm's a little harder to hit than Iron Man. I'm going to turn no ability cooldown on for this. And it's basically going to just incorporate everything we've done, except I'm fighting an air target while in the air, which can be very difficult. I'm letting myself fall below the storm, which is a hard shot to hit. It's kind of Starlord in a nutshell. Is you're moving 100 miles an hour around everywhere while the enemy's trying to dodge your bullets, and it's on you to try to be able to track them down and kill them in game. And actually be able to like finish people off when you're actually in the game. I'm mainly practicing my accuracy out of flips, but I'm also just boosting around. I'm working on my accuracy out of boosts. All of these practice range drills together, you will see like instant results. If you work on this for like 15 minutes one day, you will see instant results when you go into game. Like everything will feel easier to land. I know the idea of working in the practice range to get good at a video game might seem like, I don't know, do I really want to do all that? Probably not for most people, but I don't know. I just throw on a podcast and I chill and I just vibe out and kill some bots, And it's important to remember that because most people won't do it, if you do practice your aim in a very intentional way, you will get the edge on like 99% of people that just aren't doing stuff like this. The 7th drill on the list is out of the range. For this one, we need to load up into a custom game. I'm in a custom lobby by myself. This is something that I don't think a lot of people talk about when it comes to hero shooters. It's crosshair placement. You're basically keeping your crosshair in a spot to where you're going to be ready for the enemies at all times. So I come around this corner and let's say I'm expecting people on this high ground. I'm keeping my crosshair up here ready to shoot. A lot of people don't think about this, and what they'll do is they'll like round the corner like this and then, oh, there's an enemy, and then they have to like flick up. It's so much easier if you're looking around the map with your crosshair, so you're just ready to shoot anyone that comes in. I'm ready to fight people on the point. I'm looking down here. There's somebody behind this pillar over here. I'm boosting down and I'm keeping it on them. Obviously, this is very important on all heroes, but because Starlord is such a movement-based hero, I think it's especially important on him. I boost around the corner. I'm ready to fight someone that's here. I know that there's a guy here, so I'm boosting. I'm keeping my crosshair while I'm boosting down, ready to shoot somebody right here. If there's someone down here on this left side, I peek them until I'm ready to shoot. Then when I have to reload, I flip and I keep my crosshair on him the whole time. Having good crosshair placement is important in hero shooters. If you come from Counter-Strike or Valorant, this is going to be very intuitive for you. In those games, crosshair placement is the end-all be-all, and it's not the end-all be-all in this because the time to kill is so high, but it's very important to generally be ready for your enemies no matter what. And I won't lie to you, I don't actively go into custom games and practice this on the regular. For me personally, I tend to just think about this while I'm in game, while I'm just moving around the map, getting ready to fight people. I'm consciously thinking about like where I want my crosshair to be, but you might want to if you're fairly new to FPS in general. It's very important to have your crosshair ready to shoot people at all times. A lot of the times when I'm having a bad aim day, one thing I can do to just lock in and instantly start winning more gunfights is to just think consciously about what my crosshair is doing. You don't want to be someone that walks around like mopping the floor and like peeking stuff like this. Peek him like this, like be ready to shoot him. So like as soon as I see him, I'm very, very ready to shoot him. Having good crosshair placement is a good way to convert awareness into kills, even if your aim is subpar. Let's say we're trying to cap the point here and the other team has control of it. I don't see anyone. I'm walking up here and I just like walk up like this with my crosshair over here. I don't want to round the corner like that because there's a good chance there's somebody sitting right here just like ready to shoot me. I'm not just going to boost myself up here and then keep my crosshair here. I want to boost myself up and then be ready to shoot people. Or if I think there's somebody like hugging this pillar like right here or something, then I might like, I'm right there. I'm ready to shoot you at all times. You're not going to catch me off guard no matter what the situation is. And then the 8th and final drill for improving Starlord mechanics is going to be to play some Doom matches, but not just play them and mess around and turn your brain off and watch YouTube. When you queue up a Doom match, actually try to think about some of the other mechanics that I talked about previously in this video. Think about your crosshair placement. Move around this map with your crosshair ready to shoot the enemies. Actively look with your crosshair. Think about your accuracy out of flips. Like, is your crosshair on the enemy outside of the flips? Boom. Crosshair's right on that Moon Knight. I'm ready to shoot him. There's a lot of tanks in this lobby. Like 4 tanks and a Wolverine. Doom match is far from perfect practice, but I do enjoy playing 1 or 2 of these a day. I don't even like use my ult on Starlord when I get it. I don't really need practice with my ult, I'm not gonna lie. I just hop in here and try to shoot things. There's not a ton to say mechanically about the Starlord Barrage or the Starlord Ultimate. Those aren't necessarily mechanically demanding abilities, but I am working on a full Starlord guide that will cover those abilities and more. If you're watching this video after the guide is already out, it'll be up on your screen right now. If not, I recommend throwing on notifications so you get notified right when that video comes out. Thank you guys for watching.